So are we actually here? I don't know. I need my,
Ashley B validated us.
hello. Let me say hi. Hi, Sassy Vanessa. Hi, Missy. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Silent Winged. Hi, Paige. Okay. Did any of that stuff that we said at the beginning get caught, or did it all, like, did our intro, is our intro in there? I don't know what the delay is. Because remember when I came back then? Yeah, okay, supposedly. I don't know. Hi.
You're in a weird headspace today.
You know what? I'm actually extremely calm, which is also strange in and of itself. But I don't know. I'm not capable of doing multiple things at once. I can think about multiple things at once. I'm that kind of multitasker. I cannot, however, do multiple things at once because while I'm trying to do this intro and get the live stream started, I'm trying to get the link to the shirts we're wearing today because there is a coupon code and I want to make sure everybody knows about it. But I am not capable of doing all of those things at one time. It is just not possible. It's not possible.
Lola says hello.
Lola says hello. I don't know if the camera picks her up, but Lola says hello. We are here early. See, the intro didn't even come through because the thing did weird stuff. We have to do the intro again. I'm Kayla Lords.
And I'm John Brownstone.
This is Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. Hi, we are here. Now it's 4 minutes early. If you arrive later before timestamps, fast forward if you don't want to watch the butt rub. One day we should probably talk again about why it's called the butt rub.
Right.
But it is definitely called the butt rub.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to, pardon me, I'm trying to get the links together for the shirts we're wearing. We will at least start there. I am wearing this Lost in Subspace shirt designed by Ignitia. You are wearing the Choose Your Weapon,
yep.
Which, I love all those weapons. Well, most of those weapons anyway. And her Teespring shop has a coupon code that runs through the end of the year for 20% off. Yeah, it's Holiday 20 is the coupon code, and I'm trying to get the links in the description box for the folks. And there are so many things. There it is. So that is what I'm trying to do simultaneously, and I'm not good at multiple things. Okay, let me go back in and say hi to folks. Hi, Ignitia. We're trying to pimp you. I'm sucking at it. Sorry. Hi, Kinspank. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Sean. Hi, Kim. Hi, Christina. Hi, Maisie. Hi, Flashfire. Hi, Yarn and Whiskey. Hi, Tayshu. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Rara. Hi, Shelby. Okay, I'm getting links. Okay. We got 2 minutes. Do you have anything you want to tell people while they stare at the top of Lola's head?
Hi, everybody.
God, you're such an ass, but I love you so much.
Excuse me.
Let's see.
A little bit Klimp this morning.
You are. There was no video on Monday because I ran out of time at the end of my week to edit. So that is next Monday's video. Yay! Let's see. Trying to put links in here, y'all. That was the thing I forgot. Use code HOLIDAY 20.
Can't see who it is, but somebody asked what color Lola's collar is. Mm-hmm. It's purple and teal.
Mm-hmm. It is. Okay, I am saving the links to the shirts. Whether you want these shirts or you have been eyeing any of Ignixia's other designs, use the coupon code HOLIDAY20 to get 20% off. We do not make any money from this. We just really like Ignitia. Hi, Ignitia. I know you're in the live stream chat. And we like her designs, and so therefore we like to pimp the two. Mm-hmm. And a coupon code is never a bad thing in my book. Okay, hi, X. Hi, Lauren. Good, Mr. Spock, you mentioned something I wanted to make sure that was only going to make sense in the video. The podcast listeners are not going to give two shits. Yes, this is a new lock on my collar. I purchased it from Elegantly Owned Tayshu, who is in the live stream chat. It is actually the second one of the Ocean Flow lock that is up for giveaway. That giveaway runs through tomorrow, December 10th. Oh, video. Let me grab that link while I'm grabbing links. Because you watch the video, you see what the prizes are, you get the information for entering. And you want to at least look at the video because I need to know your top choices or you'll get what I send you if you win. But that actually runs through December 10th. Today's December 9th. I am sure of that. So I'm popping that link in the description box as we speak. Elegantly. But I liked it so much that I reached out to Tayshu and went, hi, can I buy your other one? Actually, Tayshu heard me talk about it, emailed me. I emailed back. We made it happen. I spent the money. I got the thing. I'm wearing it. So, yeah. But it's very, very bright and easy, especially against this gray shirt to see.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very happy about it. So yay. And Silent Wing is making it sound like it is or has been or soon will be Tayshu's birthday. So I want to say happy birthday to Tayshu.
Happy birthday.
Whatever day that might be. So it is 12:01. Let us do... I was not scattered 10 minutes ago. What has happened?
It's like flipping a switch.
It's like flipping a switch. One moment I'm calm, grown-ass woman, and the next one I'm like... Okay, so YouTube only stuff. Our topic today, we're talking about us working together. We're going to share our experiences about actually, like, for us it's owning a business. Other people it might be like working at the same company and navigating our DS relationship. Some of this information will not be new because we have talked about it in various other ways in various other videos because it's just such a huge part of our life. But we thought, okay, let's break it down for an entire topic. Mm-hmm. And if you enjoyed this and I haven't completely scared you off at any point in life, oh my gosh, a thumbs up would be great.
She scares me sometimes.
I scare myself. And if you want more of this, oh God. Thanks, I think. Feel free to subscribe. And if you subscribe, then do the
notification bell so you get notified when we upload new content. You're infectious.
No, here's what I want to point out. That might have been the most submissive thing I've ever fucking done because I don't give a shit about the notification bell because I don't use it personally as a YouTube watcher. And yet,
You should. It makes your life easier.
It does not make my life easier. It means I get more notifications and God knows I don't need more of those. I don't even care, but I made sure you did your part because I know you care. Where's my gold star?
Thank you, baby girl.
Thank you. I'll take it. Okay. And if somehow we've mildly amused you and you want more extra of this, could you imagine extra of this? You can join us on Patreon.
I am so sorry.
I know, to the 100 and some odd who have joined us, we are so sorry. The link to our Patreon is in the description box, but it's patreon.com/KaylaLords if you just want to type it in. You cannot search us on Patreon. We're adult content, so we don't come up in search. You have to know the link or click a link. And I said this before, I'm going to say it again because I know we got folks coming in later. These shirts are designed by Ignitia. Mine says Lost in Subspace. JB says Choose Your Weapon. We've got them linked below, but if you've been eyeing any of Ignixia's designs, use the code HOLIDAY20 for 20% off now through the end of the year. Not sponsored, no affiliation. We just love Ignitia and Ignixia's designs. Okay. Whew, here we go. Okay, so now, yes, you can do the magic buttons, and I'll try to remember we're doing an episode and talking.
Okay, and away.
Okay, so before we get into the episode this week, I will do the thing I'm just going to keep doing for the rest of the year because I fucking can. I'm going to remind you that John Brownstone's shop, The Kinkery, where he sells weapons of mass destruction and other fuckery, exists. I'm just telling you we exist. TheKinkery.com. If you don't have any money to spend, you can follow us on social media at The Kinkery, everywhere we're at. That's a great way to support if you don't have any money to spend or you're not interested in buying anything. But if you like, I'd like a new paddle, I'd like a new cane, I'd like a new whatever. thekinkery.com. It exists. It's a thing. We'd love to have you go there and look around and shop. If you have purchased things, either from the Kinkery or from the old shop that no longer exists, we'd love it if you'd leave a review. If you're like, I've done that, I don't want to do that, you can subscribe to our monthly newsletter. It is actually monthly. We do not send you a million emails just because it's a holiday and we want to pressure you into buying something. That's not who we are. So yeah, the Kinkery exists. Ta-da! Let us go into the topic. The topic is a thing we do talk about a lot because it is a massive part of our life, but we've never just devoted a whole topic to it. And that is about navigating our power exchange while also working together. And when I say working together, I mean career-wise. Also, let me interrupt myself. If you hear weird sounds in the background, that is probably Lola. She's scratching, she's shaking, she's being a dog. Some of this information won't be new because every time we talk about how we have to relate to one another in our relationship, we use our work as an example. But I thought it was worth talking about because some other people out there might, own their own business, or they might work together in the same company. And that can be interesting if you're in a power exchange, especially if you're in a power exchange that you consider 24/7. What does that mean? And we've said this before, that for us, 24/7 does not mean that there are rules and protocols and tasks going on 24/7. It is that always and every moment of the day, JB is in charge, I am submissive. But that doesn't mean we don't have to bend and be flexible with what that means when it doesn't fit. Other examples that we have talked about in the past are parenting. We try to be equals in that. You might be the ultimate decider, but my voice will certainly carry a lot of weight, and I will definitely forget that I'm submissive when I'm in mom mode. And it's been interesting working together. So we can only speak from our experience. If you work in the same company, but you both have a boss with, that is somebody else, you may have a completely different experience. And other people who own their own businesses, whether that's an Etsy shop, whether that is, like, I'm a freelancer, we're going to go through what we do because I'm not sure if we've talked about all the things we do before. But, it's going to be different for everyone. So we are just relaying our experience as we always do. But I just want to make that super clear. And I know for some people, this may never relate in terms of your career because one of you doesn't work outside of the home and one of you works somewhere else. You both have different careers, whatever. I think some of it can relate when you're working on anything together. We've talked about cooperation and teamwork and getting things done together. And I think some of this can relate. But we thought we talk about our experience in this very hyper niche focused topic. Sure. Hopefully, if you can't relate, it's at least interesting. So I guess we should start with what we do for work.
Okay.
So what we do for work is we work from home. I am a freelance writer. And I'm a sex writer. So I write about sex and kink almost exclusively. I work with brands who need content for their websites or whatever else they're making, and most of those are adult brands. I do have one freelance client where I write about insurance. It's not interesting to me, but it's an easy paycheck every month. Thank you very much. I'm also a blogger and a content creator, and I make money from that. Patreon, the things we do, Loving BDSM, sponsorships, affiliate sales. That is where we make money. You make money by...
Bum, bum. I wear a lot of different hats. I am a podcaster. I'm a YouTuber.
Me too.
And I am a maker of things both vanilla and kinky.
You have a vanilla Etsy shop.
Yes.
The Wood Dom. The Wood Dom.
And now the Kinkery.
Which is not on Etsy. It is its own site.
Right. And let's see. What else do I do?
We do things together that support those businesses.
True.
But primarily, yes, we create content together.
Yep.
We host a Patreon, and you make shit and sell it, and I market it and ship it. That's what we do. The way our business life is set up, it took us forever to get to this point, but we have everything under one business entity umbrella.
Correct.
So we have a person who does our taxes. Thank God for her. And she helped us do the accountant prior to that helped us do like incorporation and getting all that business stuff set up. Please do not ask me questions about that. I barely know how it works. I pay a nice lady to make sure that's going fine.
Yeah,
Thank
to
you.
make all that happen.
But what that means is we are actually on paper legally with the government business partners as well.
Yeah.
We own a business together. All the stuff we just listed comes underneath that. We own our business 50-50. We did that regardless of who makes more income and regardless of if we put it on paper who, quote, does more work, for many reasons. One, because we felt comfortable enough in our relationship to create this business entity partnership and own it 50-50. So that was a huge thing. I could never have done it, not because I think it would have been a bad decision, but my comfort level 5 years ago wouldn't have allowed that. There would have been questions, but now we've been together so long, we've worked together so long, we know each other, we know each other's ethics, morals, values. It's fine. We also know that because we're self-employed, income fluctuates greatly from month to month, from year to year. So who owns more based on certain metrics like that doesn't make sense when this year it could be me and next year it could be you. So for us, we split it 50-50. We did not at all set up our business with our power exchange in mind, meaning you don't have a controlling share because you're the big D.
Right.
We're both listed as owners, but I actually end up dealing with more of the tax and financial and legal stuff. So I'm constantly signing my legal name as owner. And do more of that than you do.
Well, it's become very different from what everything started out to be. Because in the beginning, work was completely off the table for DS because I was employed. I had technically a 9-to-5 job, and you were just starting out with your freelance.
Yeah, and that was so new. I didn't know if I'd even make any money at that.
And it completely turned on its head.
Yeah, I mean, the very beginning, work and DS were separate, and now work and DS are completely intertwined.
Yeah.
And in some ways that ends up, sometimes I can't tell where our personal life ends and our professional life begins. It's so enmeshed.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, oh, this is a moment that doesn't feel very DS-y. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So that's the work we do. And we each have our own responsibilities within that work. So there are the things we each do separately that the other can't help with. I'm a writer. John Brownstone cannot come stand over my shoulder, and will not, because it's just not in his wheelhouse, and go, oh, you should put a comma there. Or,
No.
Oh, is that the client you're writing for this month? Like, he stays completely out of that. You are out in a shop using power tools. That I'm not there. I am happy to assist when asked.
Right.
I am definitely the coffee runner, but I'm not going to show up and put some goggles on and go, okay, coach, put me in. Like, we still have that level of separateness that most people have in their working lives. But then there are the places where it gets super, super intertwined, and it gets really different sometimes. So, Loving BDSM started out as, quote, my creation. Very shortly thereafter, I yanked John Brownstone in. I think I made puppy dog eyes and said, please do this with me, Daddy. Please do this with me. But when we started it out, I actually tried to make your involvement minimal, not because I didn't want him to be a part of it, but because I didn't want to add too much to your plate.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, when you started the podcast on your own, I had a job I went to every day. It was a very stressful job.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, the job itself wasn't stressful. The people I worked with and for were stressful.
Yeah, the job itself you could have done for another 20 years and been fine.
Right. So basically, she would go into the closet back in the day.
Literally,
Yeah.
if you're new here, literally in a closet.
Record the podcast, and then I would sit down one night a week and edit.
heck, when they were short too, they were still like 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. And that was, and the problem is as a creator, whatever that means, I feel weird even saying it, but it is what it is. I have more ideas than I will ever have time in the day or years in my life. And I've gotten better at this now in general, but I was starting to get better at this when we started the podcast, which was if I wanted to start an idea and knew I needed like JB's help to make it happen, I had to be mindful of what else he had going on. And I didn't want to add something to his plate that stressed him out. Now that is not just a submissive thing. That should be a good human thing. But I know that I approach that from a submissive standpoint. So I knew I wanted to start this podcast. But I also knew I couldn't do it without help. And so getting your buy-in was very important. I needed the technical help. So I was willing to tailor this idea to what would work for you. Now, thankfully, that got tossed out the window within like the first, I think, 15, 20 episodes. One of the OGs or the people who've gone back through the entire catalog probably knows best. I don't remember anymore. And we pulled you in and you became a lot more involved. But then, because we were still having to consider your stress level and what time you had available, because you were working outside of the house at that point, we still tailored it to that. The timing of things was very much based on your availability, your comfort level, how tired you were, what you were willing to do, blah, blah, blah. And yet, those decisions were made with you in mind, which you would have done the same for me if the roles had been reversed. But beyond that, one of two things happens with specific to loving BDSM. It is either highly collaborative, where we're talking and brainstorming together and we go, aha, or it is me going, I have X number of ideas, sometimes half an idea and sometimes 10 ideas, depends on what's going on. And I come to you and I go, what do you think? Now, once I do that, sometimes it's collaborative where there's no clear power differential. We're just two people talking about, do we want to talk about this? Do we think this has value? Is this what we want to do? Blah, blah, blah. And sometimes, like today, I very much lean into our power exchange. So I had two ideas for this week's episode. One was a little bit more sensitive to us personally, so I think I know why it's been deferred to another week. It's a little touchy subject. But so I had these two ideas, and I said, okay, Daddy, here are my two ideas for this week. What do you think? Now, the what do you think is, okay, are there any that you hate? We'll just toss the ones you hate. And that's how we make a lot of decisions.
True.
And when I say how we make a lot of decisions, I do not mean everything JB hates automatically gets tossed. When one of us presents the other with choices that we would consider business decisions, if something is immediately hated, it usually we just go ahead and either toss it or put it on a back burner. We're not going to discuss it right now. It might not go away forever, but okay, fine. Neither of us is so precious about ideas that we will hang on to something that the other one doesn't want to do and try to force it to happen. So that was the first question. What do you think? If he had gone, I hate that one, I'd have been like, okay, make a note for later. We'll come back to that.
No, basically, I was kind of involved doing something myself at the moment you asked me that.
Which we will get into that part of it as well.
And I told her, well, I like them both. Flip a coin.
And then there was just silence.
Yeah.
And this is where the power exchange came back. Because there are times I can make decisions, no problem. I mean, there are many times I can just make some decisions, but there are times I cannot.
Well, see, I knew you couldn't make a decision, so that's why I told you to flip the coin.
So, see, the sadist came out. And if I'm trying to make a broad point here, it is that for us, our power exchange and our kinks and how we interact is very fluid. So from one instant to the next, it can switch back and forth. It's never a clear binary. It's very, very fluid. I don't have a better word. So there was silence when he was like, flip a coin. I'm like, oh, no, I don't. It's not that I didn't want to make a decision. It's that I was like, it was that I didn't want to make a decision. I liked both ideas. I would have been fine with either. And so here again, I lean into the power exchange and I go, can you please be the big D here and just decide? That would be great.
And I did.
And thank God.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Here we are.
At the same time, I've done that before. A lot of decisions that I'm fine with whatever. I'm presenting options. We've talked about that in past episodes, and I can't remember what topic it is. When I present options I can live with, so that when he decides, I'm fine with whatever he picked. It doesn't matter to me. It's not like I love one and hate another one. I'm not giving you the decision I hate unless I don't have a choice. So I'm going to give you things I'm okay with. So whatever you pick, everybody's happy. But there have been times, because you are a sadist, that I've said that. I've leaned in and gone, can you be the big D here and pick? And Mr. Sadist goes, no, you pick. God damn it. Okay. At the same time, because a lot of decisions do get made, especially, it's very easy to point to Loving BDSM for that because it is so collaborative with us. Yeah. There are other times where I come to you and I'm like, okay, this is a thing I really, really want us to do. I want to purchase. I want to make. I want to start. I want to blah, blah, blah. There's not, the only option is we do it or we don't do it. It's not, here are 5 choices, please pick. It's, this is the thing I want to do. Because this is collaborative, because it's collaborative more than because we're power exchange, truly, because this is how I operate with my other friend and business partner, Molly. I'm not going to move forward if you're not on board with it, but I will argue my point very strongly.
Yes, you will.
So I will accept a final decision if you really don't want to do it. But I'm not going to come in as a stereotypical meek and mild submissive. I'm coming in like a business partner. I'm coming in like a collaborator. I'm coming in with as much skin in the game as you've got. And so I've got things I'd like to accomplish, and I've got goals I'd like to achieve. But I don't make unilateral decisions because it is a collaboration.
True.
So let's take it out of the clearly collaborative thing that would make either of us an asshole if we were just running out there making decisions left and right because we can. Either because I'm like, this is my baby, so I can do that. Or if you were like, I'm the dom, I can do whatever. We just don't operate that way. Let's back it out to the stuff you don't collaborate on, but I still come to you about. My writing. So my writing takes several forms. My writing is the freelance work where I work with brands and I write their content for them. And then I write blogs and I monetize my blogs. And so there's affiliate stuff and there's lots of content to create. And you are aware of it. You are mentioned in probably nearly everything I write at this point. But you don't have any direct connection to it in the process, the output, the labor, that part of it.
Correct.
So everything I just said about Loving BDSM basically still happens. The same way, except that I don't talk to you about what I'm going to write. Some people have asked, and they used to ask more than they do now because I don't blog as often as I used to. Well, what does your dom think about you writing about his sex life? What does your partner think? Because it's not even just a dom thing, it's a partner thing. And I genuinely think there's 2,000 plus posts on KaylaLords.com, my main personal blog. I'm fairly positive that easily 1,000 to 1,500 of them have your name in it.
Yeah.
I'm great at branding.
And actually, I think out of all that writing that you have, there's only one time I vetoed.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say, which is you met me as a sex blogger.
Correct.
You knew I put my sex life on the internet. So that question was actually answered early on. But now here we are, and it's something I do because I love it, but also I do it as a content creator because that's my job, because I made it my job. And that question still comes up. And the thing is while I will, if I have a question about, should I write about this? Is this too personal? You actually have almost no say over what I write.
Correct.
Because I couldn't have had a relationship with anybody who wanted to have a say over what I wrote. I don't care what kind of power exchange we're in. So I think in some ways that defies what people think a power exchange is. You make decisions when I ask you to make decisions. You that one time you vetoed something, and it was actually not something that I was rushing out to write. It was, I think I was actually thinking, should I write about this? Are you comfortable with that? I'm not even sure if I should write about it. And when you were like, I would rather you not, that was an easy decision, because I wasn't passionate about writing about that specific thing. There were so many other things I could write about. So even that is extremely collaborative, where I know what I want, but I will ask you what you think when I think it's appropriate. But I get to decide that. I get to decide, is this a moment to go to John Brownstone and say, what do you think if I do this? I always ask when I want to involve you. There was the year we did, there's a blogging thing every February called February Photo Fest, and it's all about pictures.
Yes.
Words you can write, but you don't have to. And I wanted to do pictures that I wanted us to do it together, where you posted a picture and I posted a picture, and we were super, super cute on the internet. And that was my idea. And obviously I needed you for that. You had to be willing.
Right.
And so I came to you. So how does all of this relate to our power exchange? Clearly it doesn't always, but here's what I know about myself.
Okay.
Because I consider myself always and forever your submissive, my natural inclination, and I've said this in many episodes under many topics, is always to defer to you. Always, always. If I come to you and ask, what do you think? And I want to do this, can I? Or will you do this with me? I always want to defer. I always want to go with what you decide, because you are the dom around here. What I've learned to do, so that I do not make myself smaller, and what I mean by that is not that JB would demand that I be less than who I am, or that I not strive for as many things. It's what I would do to myself, is that when I go to him, I make sure that whatever the outcome is, it's something I can live with. But I also come to him and do this with him and work with him because I trust him. If I did not have the faith and confidence that he would always have my best interests at heart, and that he's not making decisions, personal or professional, out of selfishness or narcissism, if that was the case, I couldn't do it. We wouldn't be in this situation. But because he's never done that, ever, in any situation, I know that if I allow myself to defer as the submissive, then I'm not losing anything. Because even when you say no to things, you either have a really solid reason I did not consider, which is what I love about working together, because two heads better than one. It's a cliche, but when it's the right two heads, it's true. Well. And two, I can't even think of a time you've outright said no. You've always said, let's wait, let's research it, let's find another way. But you've either always given me a reason, or you've just asked for time, which, as an impatient baby girl, I sometimes do need somebody to go, I know you would like to go buy that elephant to keep in the backyard and, sell rides on, because one, that would be unethical, but you know what I mean? I needed an example. But maybe now is not the right time. I know it's your next big business idea, baby girl, but maybe we need to give this some more thought. So you almost never just say no. Right. You have a whole way of massaging the situation. It's not manipulative, but it is very smart. It's very daddy-like.
Well, one thing I've learned about you in all the years we've been together, you have lots and lots of ideas. I mean, lots of ideas. And we would need a full cast and crew to implement all those ideas. So,
yeah, we don't make enough money for a cast and crew.
Right. So, by doing that, what I have found with you, in a way, it is a little bit manipulative.
It is, but in a not negative, bad, evil, unethical way. It's very much in a psychological, use your power wisely kind of way.
Yeah. Because I found, if I say to you, I like that idea. It has some merit to it, but let's just hold off on it for a little bit. I have found that you will come back to me one of two ways. Daddy, you know that idea I had? Yeah, I don't think it's such a good idea right now. I think we're probably just going to let that go. I've given it more thought, and let's not.
Yeah, let's just not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saved me from myself.
So, it kind of goes along with that. And if you come back to me the other way, Daddy, I've been thinking about that idea, and I can't stop thinking about it, and I've got this whole thing laid out.
I have
from start to finish.
There's probably a spreadsheet.
Okay, that's the one that stuck, and that's what we're gonna go with then.
And it's funny because it's not a power exchange thing; it's a people relating to people and knowing each other really well. But it really does work well because you do force me to slow down without telling me I have to slow down. You do not exert your authority in a very overt way. Like, you've never said, I'm the daddy and I think you need to slow down. You absolutely mindfuck the hell out of me. And I let you because I am a sucker for your mindfucks. But also, it's a benign manipulation. It's benevolent. It's in my best interest for you to find a way to get me to slow the fuck down and decide, is this really what I want to do? Because if it's really what I want to do, I won't stop thinking about it, and I'll plan it out better, and it won't be done in a rush and like bated breath with, oh my God, I have this new idea. And
excuse me.
So that feeds into a lot of things. One, working together works because of that, because you use your powers for good and not evil. And two, because not every time. I mean, he's not a saint, y'all. He's a good man, but he's not a fucking saint. Most times, you make those decisions with my best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And part of that is because me coming to you in this business stuff is almost always related to my things, to the things I'm doing or that I want us to do together. Partly because I respect your process on your side of the business, partly because it is my sort of natural way to want to defer to you in all things. I don't do that at all with your woodworking and what you're doing on your own, where I assist and I help and I use the skills and abilities I have to your benefit. And I would do that even if I wasn't his submissive, but there is that little edge of, ooh, this hits me in the submissive feels when I know I'm helping to, build a business, or I'm just shipping out a box or whatever. I mean, it really does feel kind of good. But I treat that completely differently. One, because while yes, the things we do are all mushed together in a technical legal sense, that is your work. And so I respect that is your work, and I can't know your work. So when I approach you with my ideas over there, which I don't have a lot, I really do defer to what you're trying to do. I do it in a completely different way. And I would say in a much more submissive way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until you ask me directly what I think. And then I don't feel very submissive in that moment. Because I'm like, oh, he actually directly asked me to say exactly what I think. The freedom. Do you do that on purpose? Does that tap into your, how do you feel in a power exchangey kind of way with how all of this plays out in general?
Excuse me. Well, uh-oh, hang on a second.
I think it's YouTube jacking up.
Podcast
listeners, you won't notice a thing, but YouTube watchers may notice buffering and stuttering and blah-de-blah. We think it's a YouTube thing.
So, anyway, I mean, I know you don't know a whole lot about what I do and how I do it.
Yeah, and
I'm
kind of okay.
I know, you're fine with that. But I do kind of like putting you on the spot sometimes.
God, you're such a fucking sadist. Oh Holy shit. Okay.
And while I do value your input, all right, which is why I do come to talk to you about certain things. You know, it's, and I'm going to put it this way, and maybe you'll understand it a little better. Doing what I do, sometimes it's very easy to get boxed in with what I do.
In what way? Creatively?
Sometimes creatively, and sometimes in a method.
Like, this is how I do it, so this is how I have to do it?
This is how it's done, so this is how I do it.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling. I have that same problem.
Okay? And when I throw things out at you, you don't come at them with that same perception I have.
Sure.
All right? You're kind of on the outside looking in. So, in your, while as much as there is that little bit of a mind fuck on my part,
Get your rocks off wherever you can, is what I say.
there's also those little gems from you of, oh yeah, that's right, that's a good idea. I can switch it up and try this.
I love creating those aha moments with you.
You do.
So you are currently prototyping and playing with a specific toy that does not require a saw that has not arrived yet.
Right. Yet, still.
I know, we still waiting.
Heck, we can't even get a Christmas tree at this point.
Lord. Bonus section.
Yeah.
And it's funny. So there's a long ago past episode 2 houses ago. It's when we still lived in the condo. And I remember talking about how in business, if I have any dominant energy, that's where it lies.
Yes.
Because I love being in charge, put air quotes around this, of my own destiny to the extent that I can have that level of control. Because quite frankly, I don't control it. The people who choose to hire me or buy from me control it. But I love that feeling. And it makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel in control and in charge. And I fucking love it. And it is very, very strange to have my big dominant energy in business butt up against your energy, because you would think there would be a clash. And I do not know the definition of or common wisdom or thinking of this term, but one person once said, what you're describing when I was talking about my dominant energy, but also that I still defer to you, as that alpha sub concept. I do not have an opinion about that concept. I don't have enough information about that concept. But something about that, like, straight feels true, and I have to investigate more before I decide. But that's what somebody described it as. They said, you sound like an alpha submissive. You defer to a specific person, but then you're in charge and controlling others.
And the funny thing is, I've called you that before, and you're like, oh, no, not me.
I think it's because of what it implies within relationships. And I'm like, But what it is, I'm not sure I have the words to describe how fluid the power exchange part feels in this moment. So you ask me for my opinion, and I'm thinking about the prototype we made. And I was very frustrated with you because I know that you get boxed into, this is the method I have, this is the routine I follow, so this is what I do. And sometimes it's very difficult for you to look outside of that and see the possibilities. And so here we had just launched the Kinkery. We're coming up on realizing that we need fucking product. It's the fucking holidays, and you don't have a working saw or a good one. So it's like, oh shit, what can we do? And in the name of wanting you as a shop owner, us as a business partnership to be successful, whatever that means, put air quotes around that word, but also wanting you to be the best John Brownstone creator you can be, it took the form of what we have called many times in the past, have an entire episode early in the archive, tough love. Because I basically had to go, in really nice terms, you gotta get your head out of your ass. What the fuck? Like, why aren't we doing this? And why aren't we doing that? And and I came at it, and if you'd been on the outside listening in, one, if you even knew what kink was, you would never have thought I was submissive. Because I was very forceful, and I kept pushing against these barriers I could sense within you because you were feeling like all is lost and hopeless because I don't have this one thing.
That was one of those moments that I had myself inside that box. That, you know, this is how it's done. This is how I've been doing it. You know, and I can't do it.
Right. And so I didn't come at it with, well, let me tell you what I think, Daddy, in my most submissive baby girl way. It was big Dom energy because I was like, well, here's what I think, and here's what's frustrating me about this, and why aren't we doing this, and why can't we do that? And it was funny because you allow that for me in certain contexts, and this is one of them. That way of speaking would not have worked on a random Tuesday afternoon, Daddy and baby girl having a conversation.
No.
But us having a business conversation where you recognize, and cheesy as it sounds, you honor that part of me. You allow me to be who I am in that business way. So I mean, no disrespect, I'm still your submissive. I think you also know that you could stop me with a word. Now, I'd be annoyed, but you could stop it with a word.
Yeah.
But I can hit back at you forcefully and ask hard questions and pull no punches. I'm respectful the whole time, y'all. And out of it comes usually a really interesting conversation with some ideas, and with some ways of trying new things.
Exactly.
With all kinds of stuff.
And I think that's kind of why in these situations I let it. One, I knew I was in a place that I could not pull myself out of. I was spinning in a endless loop. All right? And by you coming at me like that, you put the brakes on it and you pushed me out. Yes, I can stop at any time.
I fucking hate it.
I have done it.
I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it.
We'll do it again if needed.
No, I hate it so bad.
But in this particular case, what it did, it pushed me outside that box, got my mind pushing in a different direction, and it opened up a dialogue of, well, yeah, and we both together started brainstorming.
And we came up, it's funny, so we came up with some, I think, creative ideas that are not ready to see the light of day. Sorry, y'all. But also, then when inevitably, because this happens to me too with new ideas, you get stuck at a certain point. You get a new idea, and I don't think that's just business related. I think that's life related. You get really new idea, you're really excited, you jump in, and then it's always a little bit more complicated, takes a little bit more time, a little bit more resources. And then things slow down. And sometimes they need to slow down because you've got to get yourself together. You've got to get the product, the materials, whatever it is you need to make this idea a reality together. So there's a delay. And this is where I fuck up more than I help because I'm an impatient person. When I sense a delay, I jump to the conclusion that it's because somebody has decided they're not sure they want to do this, and maybe they're just delaying because their imposter syndrome is kicking in, or whatever it might be. And so I start pushing with that big Dom energy when that big Dom energy has not been requested. Her presence is not welcome. And that will be when you will push back. And that is, again, very much a power exchange moment because I think I'm coming at it with some tough love. Dom energy, let's get our business shit together.
Oh no, baby girl. I am looking at this, and as I have been researching it, to get to point C, there's a part A, there's a part B. This needs to be looked in, and that's a whole other thing that needs to be looked at in and of itself. And she's like, oh, okay, Daddy. So you've been researching, Daddy.
You've been doing things, and it just didn't look like it to my uneducated eyes because I don't know how this actually works. But I felt real big and powerful for half a second. Okay, never mind. Sorry, Daddy. So our power exchange has a fluidity to it that I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Because we work together, because we work from home, because we're in a pandemic, we are basically together every moment of every day.
Yeah.
Barring one of us runs an errand, or you're out in the shop and I'm in the office. But basically, we're together all the time. Now, I know there are some kinksters out there who are like, well, that sounds like heaven. And it is. I am not going to act like it's not great. We are very spoiled that we have that luxury. But what it means is that the fluidity of our power exchange bleeds into every other part of our life. And that's not always a bad thing either. It does allow us to problem solve in really creative ways. It helps us work together and get things done in every part of our life, because we bring that same energy to, like, taking care of the dog, deciding to get a dog, dealing with issues with the kids. The way we collaborate in our professional life is the way we collaborate in our personal life. So there are some definite benefits to that fluidity. Yeah. Problem is,
what is your strength is also your weakness.
There's that. And also, there's no clear, let me say, there are very few clear moments of the power exchange anymore.
No.
Like before, when you worked out of the house, you left me to my devices during the day. I worked the way I worked. I didn't ask for much permission for anything. Like we've done with our whole power exchange, you laid out expectations of what you wanted me to get done as tasks or rules. And now I had the freedom to get them done at my own time, in my own terms.
Yeah.
It's still how we do things. But every day when you came home, even if I still had to work late that night, there was a clear line from business Kayla, who's doing her thing and earning her money, and baby girl Kayla, whose daddy is now home, and now we have our DS life, our personal life, to navigate, because you're not necessarily in work mode. You're not doing work things anyway. Thankfully, you didn't really have to bring work home. And I might still have some work to do, but I've done most of it through the day. So now it's home time. Working together has blurred that line. And I would think, even if you're in a power exchange where maybe you work for the same company and maybe you just ride to work together every day, or you're, even if it's different departments, there's a line that can get blurred. And for us, it's very blurry.
Well,
it's non-existent.
It has become very blurry because, when I came home from work at a specific time, one, I put my work behind me. At that time, you put your work behind you.
Yeah.
And we focused on us. And one of the things, this is my technically second business venture, self-employed. There are times, working for yourself, especially not having employees per se, there's no clock in and clock out.
No.
All right.
No.
So, yes, some mornings we have the luxury, we don't get started right away. But there are many times working into the evening. Whether I've got stuff going on that I'm doing, you've got deadlines that you've got to meet, and you're going. So, it's not, everything blends because there is no designated start and stop to things the way it used to be.
And partly because we're doing a lot of new things, like we're trying to build the kinkery to be a thing that exists and does halfway well, right? Our lives are consumed by our business at this point. And so even when we're like, okay, we're done for the day, we're sitting at dinner, or we're after dinner and we're going to watch a show on TV, or we're going to whatever. Many of our conversations are business related. Oh, I had a new idea. Oh, did you see that email? Oh, this is going on. Oh, and that's not a bad thing. And I don't mind. I am a person who left to her own devices would probably always work. When I say always, I mean all day, almost every day. If I love what I'm doing, I'm happy to do it. I'm very goal driven. But I also know the benefit of, you have to have downtime. You have to rest. You have to get away from it so you can come back fresh and do things. And that is true if you are employed by somebody else, or if you are working for yourself. That is always true, to a certain extent. But because of the newness and the size and the big goals, we are constantly doing that, even when we say we're taking a break, because something will click and we'll go, oh, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. Oh, I wanted to ask you about this. Oh, what do you think of this idea?
Yes.
And it's funny because most of the time I'm okay with that. And then sometimes I'm even annoyed with myself. So we have this new, when we can, this Friday tradition we try to do. Fridays tend to be slightly lighter days. And we'll go through the drive-thru of some place, usually with a coupon, get lunch. And now that the weather's nice, we will go to the park and we'll sit. And it's not, we're gone out to eat, put air quotes around that, but we're not in a restaurant. We're not doing any of that.
Right.
And it's this nice little break. And the first 2 times we did it, they were basically business meetings. Okay, we should have kept the fucking receipt and written it fuck off.
Right.
Because I was like, okay, so here's this thing and there's that thing and we're going to do this and we're going to do that and blah, 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 blah. And then last week, we didn't do that. I mean, we went to lunch and ate in the park, but we didn't talk about business. And here was the scary thing. There was not a lot to talk about, except all the things that had been going wrong recently. And that, I think this is an issue that any couple that works together has to face, power exchange or not. But it hits harder in the power exchange, which is that I don't always feel our power exchange.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a clear demarcation of fluid power exchange that works for business stuff. Here's the power exchange for the rest of our life.
Well, I think a big part of that, we are experiencing what a number of people are feeling right now, especially this year. Yes, we work together. We've been working together for some time now, out of the same house. What is different this year, more so than any other year, is there's a pandemic going on.
Yes.
Okay. And, let's face it, it used to be nothing. A couple times a month that I needed supplies, I would hop in the car and drive to Orlando.
Yeah, you'd be gone most of the day.
And I would be gone most of the day. I would go to the store, local store, to pick up supplies, and I would be gone for hours because I had the luxury to browse and look at things. Now, I very seldom go to Orlando. It's hard to get supplies to begin with. Most of the time the last time I was in there, the stores were virtually empty because they can't get stock. Try to order stuff online as much as I can, but it's been hard even that way to get supplies. So we are spending much more time together.
So much time together.
So there is that difference. In the prior to this, we worked together and we were still able to pursue our diverse interests, so to speak.
What he means is he was able to leave the house. I didn't want to go anywhere.
You never wanted, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He can't leave the house, is what he's saying.
But I mean...
Let's be real here.
Yeah, I'm trapped. Save me.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, even for planning a trip to the dungeon,
right, which is where we feel our power exchange very much.
Yes.
We're not high protocol, but we're much. We sort of have a way of being in those situations that we don't have. And it's not even just that. It is just, I agree with you. I think this pandemic has, if it's fucked up your power exchange, you're not alone, I guess is what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
But there's also this feeling, I know for me, that in a situation where I feel out of control, and a pandemic will certainly do that to you, I focus on what I feel like I do have control over. And for me, that is achieving whatever goals I have set for myself.
Yeah.
And in this case, most of my goals for 2020 were business related. So I wanted to change how I earned money. I wanted to start this and finish that and do this. And so that's where I've put a lot of my energy, because that's a lot easier to focus on than the things I can't control. And we had personal goals this year, but they were like, buy a house, which we did.
Mm-hmm.
But we did not set goals, and I don't think you have to do this for a DS relationship, but we did not do this, and so we did not have anything about our personal life that we had said we were going to focus on.
True, and we have done that in the past.
Yeah,
yes.
In a time when I know I needed to focus on something and feel like I could pretend that I controlled something.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy to go to business because I had clear, definitive goals, and we have done this for the past a little bit more than a year, but definitely this year. We have the conversation of, we're DS and we love one another and we're happy together, but it's not the same as it used to be. And we'll both go, yeah, you're right, man, we should do something about it. And then we never actually come up with a plan or have an idea.
Yeah.
And so I think that's made it easier to focus on work. I don't think that's helping us on a personal level. I think focusing on work is fine. I think that we navigate our power exchange very well in our work together. But I think that to build that up, our personal life has taken a slight hit. We are not unhappy. Don't worry, kids. Mom and dad aren't getting a divorce. It's fine. But I think we can acknowledge that the personal side of our relationship, we have allowed it to coast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is typical of any relationship. You go through these points in life where you're just trying to make it through whatever's going on in life, and your relationship coasts.
Yeah.
And that's not inherently a bad thing, but when your job is to think in ridiculously minute detail about power exchange relationships, it is very easy to see and feel. And the reason we didn't do the other topic we considered for this week is because it was based on our experience with a very recent argument that neither of us looked very good in. And those arguments, we have said before, we argue most during high stress times. Pandemic certainly qualifies. But we also argue more when our DS doesn't feel as grounded.
Right.
When we don't feel as strong in our very clear delineated power exchange. The fluid power exchange, I enjoy for business. But the problem is we come out of the office and I act like we're still in that mode and you act like no the fuck we're not. And then there's this conflict. And it's just, I love working with you. I don't want to stop. I want to keep doing what we're doing. What we have to do, and maybe this is our 2021 goal, we got to fine tune this.
Yeah, we
do.
do.
Because we can't, for me, I'm going to say we. You tell me if you disagree, because I know you will. I don't want us to sacrifice the thing that makes us work well together. The power exchange, we have the relationship, we have the personal relationship for the professional.
True.
I mean, I'm not giving up the businesses. Let's be very clear here.
No.
But I'm not going to sacrifice our good personal relationship on that altar either.
Right. We need to find a happy median. Is what it comes down to. And I mean, I know me. I am very work oriented.
Same.
So I will always go down that work path.
Same. I mean, I think it's funny. I think that's what helps us work so well together.
Yeah.
I also think it's why when it kind of falls apart, because we're both in that mode and one of us pops up like a meerkat and is like, wait, what happened to our personal life? When was the last time we just chilled and were daddy and baby girl? And I think other kinksters in power exchanges or who have been in power exchanges will understand this better than I could ever explain this to somebody who's not kinky. There is a difference chilling in your life within your power exchange than just chilling in your life. Like when we are in daddy and baby girl mode, dom and sub mode, it just hits different. There's a feeling to it. Even if from the outside looking in, we look like two people sitting on the couch watching Schitt's Creek, which is what we're currently binge watching. It doesn't look like anything from outside observers, but it feels like something. And that feeling, that internal thing is flailing right now. Even as we navigate working together, in a mostly positive way. We collaborate together
We
really well.
We do. We mesh because we complement each other so well on the way we work.
We'll go with that and we'll forget the other part.
Yeah.
We will absolutely neglect the other part. If you happen to be in a similar situation, that would be my advice to you. I can't offer much advice in this episode, is to recognize that sometimes there's not much you can do about it. We are in the holiday season, and so my freelance experience is every client I have, if they have anything left over in their budget, they are spending it now. I've got a shit ton of work to do. You are in product sales. This is the time of year when people are buying products. So you are busy and I am busy, and I'm not going to go, you know what, let's put the holiday on hold here where we make a good portion of our income for the year to fix our relationship. But what I am going to do is acknowledge it and go, okay, in January,
Right.
when it's dead out there, and we're like, oh God, are we ever going to have a sale again? Happens every January. We question our life and our business decisions. Then that's when, okay, this is a priority. That's the other reason why the past couple years, we take 2 weeks off from all content creation at the end of the year, the week of Christmas, the week of New Year's. There have been years where I could only do 1 week because I said yes to too many freelance projects because I like money. I don't do that the same way anymore. I've learned. And yes, we still will, watch the shop and ship things out of so many places in order, but we don't. That's why we go away for 2 weeks and y'all miss us for 2 weeks, because we take that time off. And in that time, we just fucking relax and we get more sleep and we read books and we do all the things we haven't gotten to do for a while. But that is usually our time to spend time together just being daddy and baby girl. So we will actually start that process before January. But maybe we just had an epiphany here while recording.
I think so.
We need to set relationship goals for 2021.
Yeah.
So that we will have an impetus to focus on ourselves.
Let's face it. Up until the beginning of this year, our goal was to find a permanent home to live in. And we had even put work-related things on hold to achieve that goal. We did that. Then all those work-related goals that we had set aside, we dove into head first. So yes, I think, and that's kind of how I've been looking at it, get through this month.
Yeah.
and next year is a time for regrouping and other things.
Yeah. And I mean, there will still be a pandemic in 2021. Nothing magical happens when the clock strikes, but there's more hope in 2021 than we've had in 2020. So I think that some of the mood will lift and shift and things will change.
Yeah.
What I hope does not change is the way we work together.
Right.
I still, in the middle of a workday, am his submissive. Always. From outside looking in, it might not sound like it, but I am. And I think we have learned things from our power exchange that we've brought into how we work together as business partners. I think we have learned things as business partners that we do bring into usually conflict resolution into our power exchange. I think we want the same thing as a couple as we want in our business, which is to build something together.
Right.
And the idea, I saw this as a meme, is what reminded me of this, but I've heard this a million times. It's never you versus me. It's us versus the problem. The problem can be a legit problem. It can be a catastrophe. It can be a crisis. Or it can be, here's a goal we're trying to achieve together. Or here's a goal you want to achieve that I'm going to benefit from if you achieve that goal. Here's a goal I want to achieve that you're going to benefit from if I achieve it. It's us versus the problem, and we do that in our work life, and we do that in our personal life. Problem right now is that work has got, the scales are tilted almost completely to work. I would say that scale is on the ground, and the personal life has nothing.
Right. Personal life's up in the air.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know that we helped anybody with anything. Hopefully we entertained even slightly. Anybody who is self-employed, specifically, I would love to hear how this works for you, especially as a kinkster. If you're not self-employed, but you have or worked in the past with a kinky partner or do work with them now in some capacity, so love to hear that experience. I think as with everything, it's about finding a balance. And I think that I do think it's okay if your working relationship doesn't look like your personal power exchange relationship. And yes, I think you can still consider yourself 24/7, even in that shifty kind of change. Not gonna lie, I said a little bit ago, I'm gonna say it again. When I know that I am posting a silly kink meme to Instagram for the kinkery, and that's me marketing a business, one, I'm enjoying myself because I like that work. But two, I get this special little thrill because I know I'm helping you. When I'm boxing up one of your Etsy orders, because I'm the shipping department. First of all, nobody else gets to be the shipping department. I'm the shipping department. But so and
I'm grateful for that.
I take ownership of that. But I'm like, look at what I'm doing. You made the thing. You sold the thing. Look at me. I'm Little Miss Submissive, boxing it up. And I feel it. Now, nobody else might feel that way if they were in the same position, but I do, and it allows me to be in touch with that side of myself because it's a service. It's a way of helping. It's a way of taking care of you and the business at the same time. And so I am getting many of my submissive needs met working together, even if it is in a way that I do not always recognize in the more personal part of our life.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's kind of all I got for that. Yeah, we're not phoning it in for the last couple of weeks before we go on break, but we're kind of phoning it in. We're holding all of our really OMG, these are deep, deep, deep things. I'm making notes. We'll come back with those.
Yeah.
But this one was, we talk about how we work together in almost every episode because it's such a big part of our life, but I don't think we've ever just said, here's what it is and here's how it works. So there's more I could say, but I'm gonna stop. So we will have a bonus section.
Yep.
No worries there. That's all I got.
Okay.
I think so.
Are we good, baby girl?
I'm not deciding that one.
All right.
Keep it kinky, y'all. And we'll see you next week. Daddy.
Yes, baby girl.
Can I talk to the crickets, please?
No.
Why not?
Because I want to say something first.
Okay.
I want to apologize for the cough you've heard through the podcast and live stream. Had a little bit of, with the crazy weather we've been having here. Hot one day, cold couple days, and hot again, and up and down. I've gotten a little bit of sinus drip. And I've been taking Sudafed the last couple of days, which has helped, and I forgot to take it today.
Oh, is that what? Did you go take it when you... Podcast listeners, you could not see that he walked away. Oh, you walked away because Lola was barking.
She was barking.
She's now sleeping on the couch. Or the love seat.
She was looking straight out the living room window, barking out the window.
She saw a squirrel.
Yeah.
She was channeling Saki, I'm sure.
So anyway, I apologize for the cough. It's just been kind of with the...
I want to tell you that it doesn't matter, but I didn't listen to you, so that's for y'all to...
Okay. All right.
I want to go, but it doesn't matter. You can't help it. But that's the baby girl wanting to leap in and go, be nice to my daddy. So, what is our emoji of the week? The handshake. I know there's a handshake emoji. Only because in a stereotypical way, handshakes denote like business agreements. They mean so many other things. I know, but that's a businessy one that's kind of generic. So the handshake for business partners. What's what we're going to make it mean? We're going to give it new meaning this week.
Okay.
Okay, that's our emoji of the week. You never officially gave me permission to talk to the crickets. May I please talk to the crickets?
Yes, baby.
Thank
girl,
you.
You may.
See what I mean when I say our head's not like in the place? So.
Excuse me.
Was that a vape thing or a sinus drip
No, that
thing?
was a.
Because
too big of a thing there.
Every every so often we get newer podcast listeners, and then I get DMs who are like, what is that sound? And they can't always describe it.
Yeah.
If you're wondering and you hear a sound that's like a breathy sound, that's probably JB's vape. He's vaping in the background. He waits till the bonus section.
Yes.
When he does vape. Okay. Dog update. Lola's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
She does not like baths. The vet gave her a prescription of a medicated bath for skin allergies every 3 days. She is the saddest girl ever in the bathtub until we bribe her with treats. I mean, we feed her treats, which we're going to have to be careful. She's probably going to gain weight from all the treats we feed her at bath time to keep her in there, because the way a medicated shampoo works, or this one does for her issue, is I have to lather her up. I'm the one that does it in the tub with her. I lather her up, and then we have to make her sit there for 10 minutes to let the lather do whatever the lather do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
She gets a lot of bribes.
And she's a big dog. If she did not want to be in that tub,
she wouldn't be.
She wouldn't be. And we don't do it outside because it's too cold right now. I think in the spring and summer, we'll probably do like a little kiddie pool and blah, blah, blah. But she does not like the bathtub.
No.
Onyx has been full Karen past couple days.
Yes.
Lodging a lot of complaints. Does not like the fact that she can see Lola, though she does not run from her as quickly.
No, she doesn't.
They're still staring at one another through the baby gate, but
they're getting
closer.
But they're getting closer.
I mean, Lola has her nose pressed up against the baby gate. And if you are aware of what a baby gate looks like, you know it's got like a mesh thing. So her nose is like right there. Onyx, a.k.a. Karen, is now about 4 or 5 feet away.
Yeah.
She doesn't get too terribly close. She will come out of the bedroom, into the kitchen, into the living room, while Lola is wandering. Now, the moment she hears Lola's collar, she's gone. Mm-hmm. She's gone. So they are wonderful and fine. What else? I tried to buy sweaters for Lola, and her size is wrong. I have to take them back. They were very pretty. They were pink. Because they didn't have purple. You know I would have bought purple if they had purple sweaters for Lola, but they did not at the store. So I have to take them back, but she will have sweaters because she's, she's a pitty. She's got real short hair. And even though she's big, the wind is biting and we want her to be warm. What else? Oh, this is technically business related, but the first time I mentioned maybe getting one months ago, people were very excited. So the Cricket has arrived.
Yes.
I have not tried it out yet, but there will be stickers in our future. There will be stickers. I actually have I have to talk to you about it, have a whole idea of stickers for our patrons during the membership drive in January. I'm just saying, I know. So that's exciting. Well, I've just been working. You've just been working.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We just did a whole episode on it. I don't really want to talk about it now in the bonus.
Yeah, right.
I think. No, I know. We decided. Okay, so next week's episode, whether you're listening in podcast or watching on YouTube,
I'll be right back.
Next week's episode is our final one of the year, and we're going to take our 2-week break, and then we'll be back at the beginning of January. We are going to do that as a Q&A. For my sanity, I like to take the questions from Instagram because then they're right there and they're super easy to go through and find and have. So about a day before, give or take, before the episode we record next week, I will put out a thing on the Handle I Fucking Hate Instagram for your questions. So if you're not currently following us on Instagram, we would encourage you to do so. We do not say names out loud so that if you're using your legal name, you don't have to hear that on a BDSM podcast. Nobody wants that. And then we'll probably take questions during the live stream. So if you can make next week's live stream, you can ask your questions there. But we're going to do that to make it easy for ourselves as it's the last episode of the year before our break. So, yeah, I am feeling, I don't know if this is a thing or I've just made it up in my head or God, if it's just the height of privilege, and it probably is that. I am feeling online shopping overwhelm. We bought all of our Christmas presents for family, the kids, blah, 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 online. I don't like to do Black Friday shopping anyway. I used to work retail. I'm not going to a store on Black Friday. But we did all of our Christmas shopping online. We have also been doing some end-of-year business purchases. That's how I got the Cricut. Online. We also had to buy some stuff for the house online. And I feel like I am drowning in shit. Like, I'm just like, I understand why people go minimalist now. Like, I am tired of having shit around me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm tired of having to drag cardboard boxes out to the trash.
I recognize that it's a privilege to be able to even buy the things you need when you need them. Please do not think I am bitching about that. But consumerism will fuck you up. Mm-hmm. I mean, not just make you poor. I mean, it will just like, I'm looking at all these boxes like, why? What? And I know they're necessary. We're not frivolous with our money, but it's like, fuck, I don't like this time of year.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this time of year.
And we don't even have a Christmas tree yet.
Yeah, we don't even have a Christmas tree.
Bought and paid for.
We still don't have, we do have cute lights out on the outside of the house. Thank you for doing that.
I did do some decorating. Come to find out that the decorations that did quite well for a 900 square foot condo don't stretch as well on a house like this.
There's one little corner in the front yard that's decorated. I'm not complaining, but yeah, it's like, oops.
Yeah. So, yeah, I remember we told the story. We bought a Christmas tree online. There was a terrific sale.
Black Friday sale.
It was a terrific sale at Lowe's. And they said they had it in stock and it would be available for pickup within 3 days. So we ordered. And we never got notified. 3 days came and went, and I kept looking online. Nothing, no updates. So I called. First person I spoke to put me on hold, came back after about 5 or 10 minutes and said, going to need you to call back later.
We got the person with zero fucks to give.
Yeah. So I did. I called back later, and then the person, she actually did some digging. She did put me on hold, but she came back and said, it appears to be lost in transit.
That doesn't sound good.
No. So then several days went by, and I had to go to Lowe's, and I was trying to put it off to do the tree, pick up the tree and do that. And it finally got to the point I had to get what I needed. So we went, and I figured while we're there, we'll go to the customer service counter and get an update. Well, we're talking to the lady at the counter and gave her the order number, and she looks it up on her computer. Then she goes to another computer.
She walks away.
She walks away. Then another person comes over.
Yeah, she waves down another person. I was like, oh, this can't be good.
Well, so the two of them are then looking at the screen. Then she waves over a third person. And that was when I looked at Kayla and said, this is not good.
We're not getting a Christmas tree today, that's for sure.
So the three of them consulted and came back, and apparently it's still somewhere in shipping limbo.
And we have not called since.
No.
We probably need to. It's been a few days.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that's going to frustrate me, but I will also kind of understand it because this is a weird year for shipping anything, deliveries, all that. It is very possible it could be at the store right now, and they just haven't called us yet.
Or updated because I did check this morning online.
Yeah. It's very possible. So we're hoping that by Christmas we have our Christmas tree. Our stockings are up. That's very festive. Mm-hmm. We got a new wreath because ours was looking really...
it was sad.
It was sad.
It was a very sad wreath.
But yeah, it's just like, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's now the running joke that we might not even get a Christmas tree up for Christmas. We'll have it for next year.
Right.
Keep it in the box, put it straight up in the attic.
Yeah.
It's fine. But yeah, so that's our current saga. Somebody asked in the live stream chat, Mr. Spock asked, about my sewing machine fund. I am at about 50% of my goal. My goal is not to have all the money saved up for a sewing machine until January is when I intend to purchase. And I say about 50% because there's cash in a savings account that I've been like shoving over there, like a little bit of found money, a little bit of extra money, put it over there.
Yeah.
And then my mom got me a gift certificate to the shop that I intend to buy a lot of my supplies from. So that's not in the bank, but it's like sitting on my desk, like staring at me because I'm like, I'm not going to buy anything until I'm like ready to buy a sewing machine. And yes, I am intending to buy a sewing machine. I am being very picky about that. I know that there are some like beginner entry level ones I could have purchased at Black Friday, and I was like, but they don't have all the features I want, so I'm gonna wait. And my goal, my hope, is to learn how to quilt. And if I learn how to stitch in straight lines, then I may share quilts with the world. But first I'm going to make quilts for everybody in my family. They're going to love it. They better pretend, even if they don't really. But I've never used a sewing machine in my life, so this ought to be interesting. But I am actually excited to be like, to make the time to learn a new skill in 2021. But first I got to save the money. So if I don't have the money by January, then I'll just keep saving it until I do have it, because that was not in our 2020 plans. That was not in our budget. That's not even in how we laid out our house for where things would happen and be stored. So I can't, there's no slapping that on a credit card. I'm going to save up for it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's that on that. But yeah. So I think I don't have a lot. I can feel that impatience to be like on the break, to be on quote vacation.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's not that I don't love what we do, but like I can see the time off like in the distance. We're barreling towards it, and I'm like,
on the horizon.
Is it here yet? Is it here yet? So I'm definitely ready for that. We will do our Friday night hangout. We have 2 more for this year based on when this episode goes out.
Right.
This Friday, which for podcast listeners is the day this episode goes live, and then the following Friday, and then we will not do our Friday night hangouts during our break, or we love you guys. It wouldn't be a break. we are taking a full break. And then we've been telling folks who attend the live stream hangouts on Friday nights this for the past couple weeks, but we are going to make those, we think, monthly for 2021. And we might actually treat them more like a munch as a live stream, but like a munch. So we'll do what we always do, which is we hang out and talk about food and the weather and music we've listened to and weird shit. And we might also add a component where we talk about BDSM-y, kinky things. So if you have not had a chance to attend any yet, we certainly invite you to for the last 2, either of the last 2 of the year. But then if not, we will be doing them in 2021 just slightly differently. Yeah. Still at the same time, because that's the best time that works with our schedule and kids and all that stuff. Yeah, I think. Oh, and we still have the postcard project going on. Yes. I have been getting postcards. I got a postcard from Mr. Spock. I got a beautiful postcard from Jamie from Boise. Jamie knows who they are. And I've got others that have been up here. And I have been actually sending postcards out almost immediately. And it is a family-friendly postcard, so you don't have to worry about your postal carrier or your kids going, what the hell is this? It says, I'm fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. And it's the mistakes were made postcard project, because I have postcard postage that I should have purchased differently than I did, and now I'm going to use it up by sending out postcards when somebody sends us mail that we then put on our backboard that you can see if you watch us on YouTube. So that I think that's about it. I'm very scattered. I wonder if one day we'll grow up and we will approach the recordings like actual professionals who have our shit together.
What fun would that be?
I know. I mean, it is part of the magic that we're like, I don't know, probably not. I'm pretty sure. You either love it or you hate it is all that I could say to that. So, okay. Yeah, I think we're going to go and we're going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I got stuff I got to go do, and you got
Yeah,
stuff, and I haven't even had lunch yet.
It's going to be time to go chase kids soon.
And we don't know what we're having for dinner tonight.
No.
It's a Wednesday. We will be live streaming on YouTube on Friday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, as we do. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll get that. You'll know that. But if you are subscribed to our newsletter, I put that link in the newsletter every week, so you have it. Plus the all kinds of other information. So yeah. Hope you can join us. Even if you just put us on as background noise and lurk and don't want to do the chat part, that's fine. Lurkers are always welcome. I myself am a lurker everywhere I go. So we're going to go, and we love you. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for being crickets who stick around to the very, very end. And that's it for us. Bye.